What's going on, guys? Chase with iDub Hockey, hanging out with Rob Gill, who's the product manager for Warrior Hockey. Rob, we've got your really exciting Warrior Alpha LX Pro stick line in front of us. Before we start talking tech and spec, how would you describe the best style of shooter this line is built for, and then maybe the overall flex profile from top to bottom?
Yeah, for sure. So what's really cool with Alpha, and we really consider this kind of like a jack of all trades type of stick. It has a mid-low kick point, so the kick point isn't all the way down by the blade and it's not up above your bottom hand. It still sits below your bottom hand on the stick. So we still talk about a quick release on a shot with our Alpha sticks. There is a really quick release here, but what we really focus on with Alpha is that really stable, powerful release. So those big slap shots from the point, or a hard one-timer across the zone in a power play, or whatever it may be, being that traditional taper shape that we use with our Saber taper and on our Alpha sticks, it creates that stable, powerful release. So when you lean into it on those big shots, you're not getting any twist on the blade or anything like that. So that puck is staying right on target and going exactly where you need it to go. So, but with that being a little bit, a mid-low, if you're playing in tight, you can still get the puck off nice and quick and get rid of it. But those big defensemen or that power forward on a power play or whatever it may be, really releasing a big, heavy shot with a stick like this.
That high velocity, high powered shot, but with that mid to low kick point, you're not sacrificing that quick release either. Now, we have a lot of changes that help accentuate that quick release and really the overall playability of the LX Pro this year. So let's walk us through, the new RLC 188 construction that also uses that new minimalist unidirectional carbon fiber.
Yeah, for sure. So new for us for the LX line is that RLC 188, and RLC stands for Revolutionary Lightweight Construction. And when we talk about RLC, what we really mean is we use the most advanced materials and the most advanced construction process to provide an incredibly lightweight and an incredibly durable hockey stick. And so you mentioned it, the unidirectional carbon fiber that we use it for a reason. What we found is it's really the most efficient way to accomplish that. When the fibers are all running the same direction, it creates a lot of elasticity in the directions that the fibers are running, and it creates a lot of strength. So it's a stick that's super durable, both in hacks and whacks, impact tests, or taking it out on the ice and guys slashing it, but also really durable in terms of flexing the stick as well, those flex tests that we do and that everyone does. And so it's super lightweight. It's, nearly 20 grams lighter than its predecessor, the DX, at the senior level. And that comes from those new materials, that new unidirectional carbon fiber that we're using in it. And that construction process that we do is what really provides that balance and that feel that you're used to with Warrior sticks, whether you're using a high-end stick like an LX Pro or you're using an opening price point stick. That same balance, that same feel you get no matter what stick you have in your hands.
So it sounds like this new generation of LX Pro is lighter and more durable than what we've seen in the DX. And I know it's not just the RLC 188 making that big change. So the new Fuel Core Ultra is a big diversion from what we saw in the previous generation. So walk me through the changes there, and what does that do for the player on the ice?
Yeah, for sure. So the Fuel Core Ultra on the LX Pro stick is a brand new blade design for us. This is a complete change from what we used to do with our blades. Previously, we used two ribs that ran down the length of the blade. We removed one of those ribs and went to a single, more robust rib through the center of it, increased the polymer core around that rib, and then increased the materials that we use around the perimeter of the blade to really help create a really nice, durable blade for hacks and whacks, guys stepping on your blade or whatever it may be. But by keeping that polymer core in there, we still keep that great Warrior feel for the puck. It's still that damp feel, a lot of pop still on your shots and on your passes, but when the puck's on your stick, it feels comfortable. It has that, the best word for it is just that damp Warrior feel for the puck. And that's really cool. We were able to reduce the weight significantly on the blade. And generally speaking, you sacrifice things like feel for the puck to accomplish a weight reduction. And we really didn't do that. I was actually shocked the first time I was able to use it at how good it felt, stick handling, shooting, passing, whatever it is, knowing that we reduced the weight so much and it's still keeping that same feel was a really pleasant surprise.
Awesome. So just to clarify, if you're a long-time Alpha DX fan, no worries on this stick. It's just going to feel lighter, more balanced, or just as balanced, but you're still going to maintain that signature damp feel, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And then the other thing that really has made the DX line and now this LX Pro line, really vary from the Covert line is just the overall shaft dimensions. So if you've never checked out an Alpha line, can you walk me through, why that makes it so special and so comfortable in the hands?
Yeah, it's pretty unique for this. It's our Ergo shaft shape. And what that is it's a shape that looks almost like a dog bone. It's concave on each side of the stick. So it sits really comfortable in your hands. And what it does is it provides a lot more control over the stick, which then means a lot more control over the puck. So a really comfortable fit, Ergo shaft shape. And a unique thing. You're used to that traditional just rectangle on a hockey stick. With this and those concave sides, the fit in your hands is so much more comfortable.
Perfect. So this LX Pro from top to bottom, fully loaded with all the high performance, tools, equipment, materials that you need. The LX20 is no slouch either, though. This is still going to offer truly elite level performance, but at a much more approachable price. So, I'm sure there's a lot of carryover technologies here, but really what makes this LX20 stand out from the competition here?
Yeah, so what's really great with the LX20 is exactly that. This stick is really built like an elite level stick. When you look at the tech and spec, it's on par with what a high-end stick was just less than a calendar year ago. It still is using a unidirectional carbon fiber. So just like we talked about on the LX Pro, those fibers are running in the same direction, which creates all that elasticity, all that durability. We're still using our RLC. The materials change a little bit. The stick's a little bit heavier than what the LX Pro is, but the process stays the same. So something that's really strong, really lightweight, and really well balanced. The cool thing with the LX20 at a senior level is it's a 63-inch stick. So it's a little bit longer. It provides a unique look and feel and provides a lot more flexibility for the type of player that can use it. There's no end plugs needed and things like that. So that's a pretty unique feature with the LX20. We're still doing our Fuel Core blade, Fuel Core Pro on the LX20. So with that, we do move back to that twin rib design that you're used to, that same polymer core that we talk about. So all that feel for the puck, that damp feel when you're stick handling, the pop on shots, pop on passes. So all of that's the same. The enhanced carbon layering over top really reduces the blade fatigue on all of our Fuel Core blades, whether it's Fuel Core Ultra on the Pro, Fuel Core Pro on the LX20. You're still getting all of that. So you're getting an elite hockey stick at, that step down from that true high-end price of a stick.
And then before we move on, what's the overall weight before we start talking about the LX30 here?
So for LX20 at 63 inches, it's 415 grams. So like I said, this is a high-end stick without paying that high-end price. It's incredible.
And so let's talk about that LX30 as well as the LXT. These are more geared towards that competitive player, maybe on the rink only 2 or 3 times a week. And that's, these players really look for maximum value and high performance here. So let's start with the LX30. What are a couple key specs that really make it stand out here?
Yeah, 100%. The LX30, this is a stick that, as exciting as the LX Pro is, obviously that's where the NHL guys are using and all that. This LX30 is a stick that I am the most excited about in our lineup. We put a lot of time and a lot of effort into this stick. We pulled a ton of weight out of the LX30. At 60 inches at a senior level, it's 415 grams. We're not even a full calendar year removed from that being a $300 hockey stick. And I couldn't be happier with it. When we talk about those new layups, this applied not just at the high end, but all the way through our line of hockey sticks, where we pulled 25 grams out of this particular stick at a senior level. So a huge weight savings. You're getting, like you said, This is a stick, maybe you play beer league hockey or whatever it is, 3-4 times a week or maybe less, and you're getting so much performance and value. So our RLC construction, so that really lightweight, well-balanced, really durable hockey stick, fuel core blade on it. So that same thing, twin ribs through the length of the blade, as well as a polymer core, improved carbon layering over top. So it's a Minimus Carbon 6 weave on the blade. And so really reducing the blade fatigue there. The stick performs so far out of its class. It's a high-end stick in that competitive level that you talked about. I couldn't be happier with what we produced with that LX30 this year.
Yeah, it sounds jam-packed and probably should be priced a little bit higher than what it is, but let's not change that too much. And then to finish this off here, let's talk about the LX40, really designed for maybe that new to hockey recreational player that, again, wants some good value and probably a lot of shot pop, but at a much more affordable, approachable price point. So walk me through a couple key features we find on the LX40.
Yeah, 100%. So with LX40, you're still getting a fuel core blade. So that polymer core that we've been talking about, that feel for the puck, pop on shots, all of that's the same. With this, we are doing a unidirectional blade on it. So there's not that checkerboard weave that you're used to seeing in so many places. It is a unidirectional blade pattern through there. Really light blade, really light shaft, 450 grams. And it's that perfect stick. Someone newer to hockey, or maybe you've been playing for a couple years and you're trying to take your game to that next level. Still a unidirectional carbon fiber shaft. RLC 122 is what we're using through there. Minimus Carbon UD through it. So still that same elasticity, that flex profile with the saber taper design. All of that stays consistent. The stick just gets a little bit heavier, but still incredibly well balanced. Great feel for the puck and a ton of power on your shots.
And to, just kind of piggyback on that point, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, this price point would have weighed 520, 530 grams, let alone.
Absolutely.
So it's really impressive to see that each and every price point, especially how excited you got on that LX30, each and every price point here is well upgraded, and really looking to see how it does in the NHL in the next coming season. But as far as today goes, Rob, thank you so much for sitting down and walking us through this really exciting LX Pro stick line.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, and I'm excited for everyone to get their hands on it.
Definitely. And then for you guys at home that do want to get your hands on one of these price points, make sure you head over to icewarehouse.com.